Warning! All hail Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, God.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the S.T.A.R. podcast for The Flash. Season 4, Episode 6, When Harry Met Harry. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me is Nikki.
Hi.
How's it going?
I didn't know what your spoiler warning meant for a second, and then I remembered.
For the love of Jeff Goldblum. I started cracking up when I heard that line. Oh, it was fantastic. Just because I knew you were going to have bad reaction to that. But, yeah, what'd you think of this episode other than that?
There were so many references, not even just to Jurassic Park this episode. There were so many. And, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park. I can't even list them all because there's more than enough. There's more references than I have fingers of different shows.
Yeah.
Different movies. It's not just one that they just rag on. It's a bunch. And like I said, I lost count during this episode.
Hold on to your butts. I
Um,
was really hoping for that line to get dropped in there somewhere.
I was expecting Cisco to say it, actually. I really was.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic.
But I think the one reference that they could have done without, which was funny, but I had the same reaction Harry did, was when Dumbledore Harry came in. And they just cut him off. They're like, yeah, it's a bad connection,
Dumbledore Harry's the best. So what'd you think of the Council of Wells? I guess we'll start there.
Were there any other normal smart Harrys, like ones that were more like Harry, even HR? I think HR would have been a better Wells in this than the Apocalypse Harry. What the fuck did he even do?
It was like Mad Max Harry, and then we had Wolfgang Harry and Matthew McConaughey Harry.
I was
and
just
Gandalf
disturbed. Okay. So Wolfgang Harry, he was flat. He didn't really appeal to me at all. Matthew McConaughey creeped me out because he's just he's just too forward, and I would probably end up, smashing him I'd probably end up curb stomping him because he's just that disgusting.
Okay.
And then the post-apocalyptic Harry, I was really weirded out by his costume.
I loved it.
Because you got to see Treasure Trail, and for some reason, I didn't know that Harry happened to be that ripped. And the whole, tube coming out of his eye, and it was there was, goo going through it. What the actual hell is going on with him? But, yes, Red Bandit, we did mention Gandalf Harry. He was there for a few seconds, and they just kicked him out. But, they managed to complete the task. So I guess they're not. It wasn't a terrible Council of Wells.
I just know I was very upset that the mime Harrison Wells was not there. That is my favorite version. He was only on screen for very few seconds, and he's still my favorite.
But we already know that even though Wells is typically an intelligent character, some of the other Wells really aren't. So.
I just love how Cisco was all ready for Harry's friends to come by, and he's bringing the beer and the chips and the dip.
And no, they're all holograms.
Leave it to Harry to make friends with himself.
I mean, it's an effort, at least, because he did actually go out of his way to contact them and make some sort of connection so they knew about each other pretty well.
Yeah. Yep. But they don't work so well together. And it's to the point where Harry's even frustrated with them. And it's not till Cisco points out to them, that they're kind of exactly like Harry,
Hmm.
just exaggerated versions, excuse me, of aspects of his personality.
Yep.
And that's when Harry's like, okay, let's figure this out. And got them all to play nice, work together, and come up with a way to hunt down DeVoe.
Hmm.
So, yeah. But they get Clifford DeVoe's name. They plan a trip to his house,
Hmm.
and they are greeted by not what you would expect at all.
No, first off, it's his wife, and they expected him to be some solo serial killer dude with psychopathic tendencies. And then a guy in a wheelchair rolls up like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the hell? This is not DeVoe." Obvious Barry knows what DeVoe looks like.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
When?
I'm pretty sure he met him at one point, or was it during one of his time travels where DeVoe's face flashed or something? I'm pretty sure he knows the gist
No.
of what he looks like.
No, Barry has absolutely no idea. All he had was the name. That's all they've been going off of this whole time was just the name. So, like, that's why they had absolutely no
Hmm.
clue. But, like, here they are expecting, like, a villain. Like, Barry's like, look at Savitar and Reverse Flash and all these other guys that had the jump on us. Let's get the jump on them. Goes to
Hmm.
the door, and, there's a disabled man in a wheelchair that looks, like he's not capable of committing any crime.
Mm-mm.
So,
For a moment,
they're
I thought it
flabbergasted.
was. For a moment, I kind of thought it was the Thinker and his assistant, just kind of taking on that normal modern role, kind of like in disguise. But I mean, they don't even resemble the Thinker and his assistant whatsoever. But
Mm-mm. And that's what's so fantastic about it.
hmm.
But, yeah. Beginning of this episode, though, we had Ralph, who
Hmm.
still kind of being a scumbag.
He's never gonna change.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, not at all. And then we have the mugger come up and try to rob them.
I forgot about this scene.
It's the best scene of the episode.
Stop shooting him! I'm not shooting
Uh,
him.
every
I
time he
shot him
gets
in the butt.
shot, it rubber bands back to the criminal,
Hmm.
the mugger. He
Just the
shot me in the
way
ass.
the way he was like writhing in agony after he got shot in the ass was just hilarious. He's like, I can't even. That scene was amazing.
It was hands down the best scene, probably all season thus far.
Ugh.
Like that's how good it
It's
was.
just, it's not even just because it was funny though. It's because, we meet Ralph and Barry and him were like enemies, and now you see them as frenemies.
Yeah,
They're more on the path of being colleagues and friends now, and just to see them bicker back and forth, and you know that that Ralph just does not want to take orders from Barry, even though Barry's supposed to be mentoring him. So you see them get into that bicker, but then at the same time, there's the bullet shit happening with the rubberness
yeah,
and
and it's while they're discussing how to stop the mugger, and that like
hmm.
that just makes it even funnier.
Yep.
Because Ralph gives the idea of I could become a giant slingshot, which is his classic signature comic book move.
Hmm.
So it's a little funny to throw that reference in there, and Barry's just like, huh, and
Hmm.
then can you wait a minute, please? It's just like
The
Uh,
mugger's like, I'm mugging you guys.
you
Like,
know
come
I'm
on,
still
pay
mugging you,
attention.
right? It's not like you're gonna shoot us. Uh, absolutely funny. Best scene. Best scene.
hmm Very good
I
scene.
really don't like Ralph, but like moments like this are what makes him great to have around.
hmm
Um, then we have Caitlin, right? Who she's just exhausted. She's just completely wiped out. She said she hasn't been this tired since Killer Frost went to Burning Man.
I wonder how that went.
Mm, I don't know.
I mean, wasn't in the news, but
I don't think anyone died. So
she probably enjoyed herself actually.
yeah,
Because Burning Man, our hair is a bunch of shenanigans.
yep. Then we had uh, Ralph getting hypnotized. That was
Never
another
gonna
really
work
funny
on me.
scene.
It was.
Yeah, how'd you guys get over there? Um, but with the Lee says in chat to Burning Man, I don't get the joke. Burning Man's just a like a concert event out in the middle of like the Nevada desert.
And it's
So
hot as ball, like sweat. Just nasty, nasty out there, like so hot. And they do like bonfires at night and stuff. So the Burning Man, I think they actually burn straw men
they do.
for the yeah. So, and it's funny because she's Killer Frost
Yeah, just
going
the
to the
contrast
Burning
of
Man.
it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Um, but then with Ralph and the hypnotism, we don't really get too much extra information. It seems like all the rest of the metas out there are female. And one in
Yeah,
particular, this one goes by the name of the Black Bison.
I liked her.
She was really cool.
Yeah.
So, she's able to turn inanimate objects to life. So Stone
hmm
Tiger is able to devour, her target. She was
hmm
basically trying to put this Sue necklace back together.
hmm
And all the meanwhile, while they're trying to stop her, Ralph is learning the importance of saving people versus letting people get away. He's all about catching the perp, you
hmm
know. And Barry's like, no, you got to save the person. It isn't until little girl almost dies because of Ralph that he really starts coming around. So
I did like that last scene too. That was
yeah,
great with Ralph and the little girl.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was fantastic. But yeah, I love the T Rex coming to life, the bone T Rex in the
Only
museum.
because Jurassic Park reference.
That was what made it so good. When
Yes,
he
but
goes, we have
no.
a T Rex. Like it's just like, oh no. And as I'm like sitting there laughing, shaking my head at that, and he goes, for the love of Jeff Goldblum, and I just lost it. I absolutely lost it.
Jeff Goldblum confirmed in Earth One.
Yeah, well, I think they're technically on our Earth,
Yeah.
so
So does that mean I mean, they're gonna go see the Thor movie?
maybe. I mean,
I mean, they are reading.
they've made references to Marvel plenty of times in the series.
Yes, they have.
So, and also Barry is able to stop the Black Bison, and
hmm
Ralph learned his lesson about saving people. He doesn't really want to hear it from Barry,
No.
and then he ends up taking the Sioux necklace and mailing it back to their reservation. And he's like, "Look, I don't want to hear it." And Barry's like, "No, you did the right thing. The pain,
No,
suffering, and all that, and that's our job is to help that." So
I'm sure if she would have went to them and said, "Hey, this belongs to my people. I need help," they would have helped her instead of her
maybe,
going around killing people.
maybe I don't know if they would have broken into places to steal the objects to do that, but you know,
Maybe
there's
not,
other ways to
but
go about it.
yeah, there was.
But what did you think about Ralph's suit in particular?
Oh my God, it's just a prototype. I'm not gonna judge it right now because I mean, yeah, the way Cisco, introduced it to him and he was like scrunching it up. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then he held it up and it looked like some freaking like a baby doll
Hmm.
outfit. And I'm like, all right, we kind of got a glimpse of this from last week previews. And um it, it's really just Cisco checking out the materials so that he could actually make a cool looking suit. And I was kind of expecting to see this new suit at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
but we didn't get it. So, I mean, my first impression is it works for him because it stretches with him.
Mm.
But it definitely needs to not just be like a flappy little shit freaking mask on his face.
Yeah. Um. Ralph said. Ralph. Red Bandit in chat says, "What comic book was Ralph reading?" He was reading the Young All Stars Volume 1,
Yeah, the All
issue
Stars.
20, I believe it was.
Hmm.
Um. So that is a DC comic. So apparently DC Comics exist in the DC comic universe.
I wouldn't put it past him, like, because of the existence of all these superheroes that, people would write about them and make graphic novels and things like that. So,
Yeah. I mean, there's references in that comic book to like Doctor Midnight and the Green Lantern and Hawkman. So yeah,
eh.
you're not too fond of Hawkman.
No, he was a douchebag.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really kind of I'm worried in a way because the crossover is so close.
Next week.
We have one more episode, I believe, and then the crossover.
Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
episode 8. So, yeah, next week and then the
yeah.
week after.
So there's been very little direction to set up for it. Um, so I just feel like it's just gonna come out of the blue, and I don't necessarily like that because it seemed like the Dominators just literally came out of the blue. Like there was no
Hmm.
setup for it. I like a little
Well,
kind of setup, you know.
maybe for this one, yeah. But we do know that, they're already setting it up for Legends. I don't know what's happening with Arrow, and they're like from the previews, it seems like they're kind of doing the same thing in Supergirl. They're kind of leading into it. But for the Flash, everybody is focused on the wedding. So I don't think we're gonna get any build up
The
in the
wedding takes
Flash.
place during
Yes,
the
exactly.
crossover.
Yes. So they're not going to build up against the threat. They're going to build up against the or for the wedding is
Yeah,
what I'm getting at. All the other ones are in the crossovers. I'm sure they're working. They're seeing the threat. They're like,
Arrow
they're
doesn't really seem like it's going in that direction at all. Like
no.
this is Crisis on Earth X. This is a parallel dimension. There's no any connection so far on the other shows.
So really, they're just gonna like ring-a-ling-a-ding diggle and be like, "Come help us,"
I
and
guess.
then out of nowhere.
I guess.
All right.
I don't know.
I I don't know. I see the build up in Legends, obviously. Kind of in Supergirl a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what's
Well,
happening in
in
Arrow,
the
and
preview so far for Crisis on Earth X, they show the legends in Star Labs. That much I see. You also see, I think it is it's either Cisco or Iris in the or both actually. They're
in the
both
Wave
in the
Rider.
church. No, they're in the
Oh,
church.
mm,
So, uh, but yeah, none zero of the shows so far building up to this, and that's what has me worried.
oh. I mean, I w- it was kind of nice not knowing really about the Dominators when they came around. I don't know.
Yeah, but for this at least, they mentioned that they're gonna take the Black Bison to Iron Heights,
Hmm.
right? And for that, now that starts having me a little worried because we know that she could bring inanimate objects to life, and that's probably going to be pretty integral to the escape of the rest of
Yeah.
the criminals.
Well, if you think about it, the whole prison of Iron Heights is an inanimate object. She could make it grow legs and walk away.
I don't know if that's how that works, but
No, but hmm. She got powerful enough. She could probably move whole buildings, or at least crash them down whenever she
I,
wants, or
I don't think
rip
that's how
holes
her
in the
powers
side.
work. I think her
I don't.
powers literally just turn something to life. I don't think she has control over it like that. It's
She
not
can't
like
make
she can
rock golems.
manipulate. No, I don't think she can throw a bunch of rocks together to make a golem, but she could turn a stone panther statue into, or a tiger or a lion or whatever it is to life. You know, just breathe life into it. That's about it.
I could almost see her like, reenacting the Be Our Guest scene in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh God, no, no, no. And then like it makes you like think the T Rex that they had, the bone T Rex. How did it roar?
Did it?
It's got no vocal cords. It's just for fun. I did
Obviously.
that didn't bother me at all.
No.
Usually stuff like that bothers me,
It
but
didn't even phase me until you mentioned it. I was like, oh, it did roar. Wow.
yeah,
Nikki, what are you thinking? Not
yeah.
paying attention.
No, but I like Ralph's suit. I thought it was really funny that you could ball it up and shrink
Hmm.
it and stretch it and all that. I think that's really cool. I love the very plain color of it. That's what makes it even funnier when he's standing next to Barry. Um,
Well, Cisco clearly said it's a prototype, so that he
yeah.
just had to deal with it
Just
until
lift
the
the
tests were
sheet.
done.
Just lift the sheet. I want to see my no. That is your costume.
Yep.
It's fantastic. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, this was a pretty straightforward, fun little episode. I love the
Mhm.
Council of Wells. I love Ralph getting shot. I never thought I'd say that about a character, but I love watching him get shot.
Oh, another thing that Ralph did just randomly was how he identified women was their bra size,
God, her measurements.
their measurements. And so,
Did he just read my measurements?
yes,
Fucking
and
Caitlin.
Caitlyn should have just decked him
Not
or
that it would
shot
have
him an
mattered.
icy glare at least or something.
Not that it would have mattered. She would have
No,
punched him and it would have bounced back and she would have punched herself.
I don't know. She uses her frosty powers and freezes him a little bit first and then gives him a good old punch in the face.
Yeah, he won't stretch then.
Mm-mm.
So, you have anything else for this episode?
Not really. I wish I could remember all of the references that they brought up because, like, what did Cisco say to Harry when he mentioned the Harry Potter
Oh,
comic?
I just want to. I was loving the opening when Ralph is trying to fix whatever he bumped into on the computer, and it's like
Oh,
counting down the oxygen, emergency oxygen
he's just
removal, and he's sitting there, and Harry's just at like two, he pushes him out of the way. It literally says one, and Harry just hits one button and stops it. Like Cisco during the countdown picked his head up like, "What's going? Oh, we're just losing our air in 10 seconds, in 5 seconds," and then he just goes back to sleep. Like,
thank you, Red Bandit. He just said you're a wizard, Harry. That's all, right?
yeah, he was telling Harry all these things that he was. He's like, "You're a wizard, Harry." Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't hallucinating or anything. Okay.
Hmm.
Like I said, there was a lot of references to other shows and movies in this particular episode, and it was mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yep. Next episode is called "Therefore I Am." Barry comes face to face with DeVoe, and DeVoe's past is revealed through flashbacks. Meanwhile, Iris puts the final touches on the wedding, which is a week away.
Hmm.
So, I think it'll be nice to get a flashback episode for DeVoe. I hope that's
Uh-huh.
the primary part of the episode, to be honest,
Yeah.
because
I want to see how he came to be.
I love villain flashbacks. I think those are very, very interesting. But I think
Especially if they're like that's I know you said origin, and when I think origin, I mean even before they were a villain. So like, I like to see the turning point of when they decided when that switch flipped in their brain and they decided, you know.
Yep. But I think that about does it.
hmm
Nikki, where can people find you?
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Space, and Discord. Link down below. And you can also find us right here on YouTube and Twitch at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Till next time.
Haters.
Stop shooting him.
I'm not shooting him.